DJ.
I think this is what or a toy shop. A little bit too relaxed at the situation. I think you actually been involved.
I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the big metal detecting show. And this is Archeo Boy. And Archeo Boy is coming on to say a few words. So, Archeo Boy, what are your hobbies?
Magnet fishing and metal detecting.
Right, and this week, something very important's come out for you, hasn't it? And you're very excited about something. Can you tell me what that is?
The Mini Horde.
The Mini Horde. The Nokta Makro Mini Horde. And there's a very excited young man for the release and launch of it because it's just your size, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're going to go and do what you do? You can go watch on your YouTube now, can't you? Be good. See you later. Thank you very much. So that was Archeo Boy. Looking forward to the Mini Horde. Close the door after you, please, mate. Because otherwise everything will be far too loud in the background and I won't be able to hear what's going on. Good evening to everybody who's here already. South Coast Detecting, Aaron Weedle, Nick West, Darren Booth, Bob Hope, Scott Holden of Detector Network, Scotty B, Ian Jackson, XP, Steve Pettican, John Clayton, Matt All, Detect B, Andy Lacey, Mr. Adrian Gaylor, Big Finds, Small Finds Detecting, Paul Edwards, Dominic Tomschick, I'll get there, I hope it's all right one day, Tom Trussell, Harry Long, got a full room tonight, Andy Lacey, and Andrew Jones. Hi, Archeo Boy. You'll get to meet him one day, Andy, I'm very, very sure. So, here we are, and first things first, as ever, it's over to the Big Metal Detecting Show page for our update of what's going on this week. So, Mr. Higgins, if you wouldn't mind sharing the screen, that would be most delightful. It's been a busy week this week. Not only good things going on, but obviously some other things going on. So first and foremost, we have today article's been published discussing a medieval find in Shropshire marks the discovery of 1.5 million archaeological objects in Britain, and a lot of them, my friends, are by yourselves and our very selves in this hobby. And it actually states at the end from Michael Lewis, who's the head of the Portable Antiquities scheme at the British Museum, even the smallest and modest of items offer clues about our history. So we encourage everyone who makes a find to continue to come forward. A fantastic little bit of article there. Today it's been announced by the DCMS, the Department of Digital Culture, Media and Sport. Hey, look at me getting something right. That digs for up to 30 people were permitted from the 4th of July, and they've confirmed businesses and charitable trusts may run events for more than 30 people. If you go on to the Big Metal Detecting Show or the Archaeology Metal Detecting Magazine or the National Council for Metal Detecting, you will see the guidelines in full. Save me reading them out, because I do have something to read out when I get there, when I find it. There's a little video on the release of the mini hood that got the boy Sadler very excited. You'll like this. Look at that. I've been making homemade cider from Aldi apple juice and yeast, and I've christened it the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine Saxon Gold. Have it. Can't wait for next Saturday when that's time to go. So, we'll get there in a minute. Oh, treasure hunters have hit the jackpot as they discovered Roman coins at a race course, which was... and the metal detecting group was, it's Chelmsford City Racecourse. They asked Braintree Metal Detecting Club to help out with the creation of the track, and they've been going through the layers and have found multiple items there. Look at this. Tony Kaywood, he stole his son's TARDIS wardrobe and made it into his Rutus cupboard. Kudos. I like this as well. Darren Richardson, a colleague of mine from work, he found this ring which turned out to be a portable sundial. Beautiful little piece. And he's added the information showing a post-medieval pocket sundial. So congratulations on that find, Darren. Very nice indeed. Right, here we go. So detectable, basically. The announcement from the team, the organisers, Mark Betcher and everyone, was this year's been a very, very strange year. They've been following the situation, speaking with the DCMS, the NCMD, etc. Unfortunately, they've had to cancel September's 2020 event. Lots of reasons behind the decision, including the government guidelines, common sense, the organisation logistics, all the different people coming from throughout the world to the event who had bought tickets, France, America, Ukraine, etc., etc. And obviously the attendees, traders, charity staff and volunteers. You know, it's a in my eyes and many other people's eyes, it's the best decision. And thank you, Mark and the team, for making that decision. I'm making it well in advance. And obviously, I'd personally ask people to carry on with the following the rules and regulations and whatnot that have been set out from the government. There's also, I thought Gary Cook had actually shared it on here. Oh, there it is. Sorry. So Gary Cook, he's also commented. He's also made an announcement that the Rodney Cook Memorial Rally also have had to cancel this year's event, and again the same reasons behind that. So again, kudos to the Rodney Cook Memorial Rally organisers and Detectable for making them decisions. And of the big rallies that are still going on, I hope that they are thought about in as much common sense as possible. That's best I say. So there you go. That's about it really for the news and views. All the information from the DCMS are on the places that I said, and you'll be able to find the Rodney Cook Memorial Rally information and the detectable information in the locations where you will usually find them. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce tonight's guest. I've not actually spoken to tonight's guest before. I think about a couple of weeks ago, he contacted me regarding the new website, Diggers Dips, and I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Chris Bailey. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Dave.
Are you well?
Very, thank you.
Fantastic. Can you, for the audience who don't know you, could you introduce yourself, please?
Right. Well, my name is Chris Bailey. I run Diggers Dips with two partners. When I say partners, I mean working partners. We started work on this about a year ago, and it's taken up literally up until last month to actually pull everything together to be able to get it all online. Prior to this, I've been involved with metal detecting, a large group. I don't want to throw a name in. Let's Go Digging. I ran that with Paul for a few years, and then I had a stroke. Fully recovered now. Had a stroke, and that set me off then to start working from home. This is where Diggers Dips came from. There's a lot of reasons behind that, but I'll let you perhaps ask me some questions and then explain it as we go along.
Absolutely. Marvellous. So, how many years have you been metal detecting, and how did you become a metal detectorist originally?
Same as most people of my age. I think Dad took me. I used to live in Weston-super-Mare, small village outside called Bleed, and there's the old Roman Road. My dad took me up there with an old C-scope, and we found nothing, but the excitement was there. There was a Roman Road, and I think a couple of years went by, and I got a little bit interested in history and things. Went out and bought my first Fisher 1210, and that's what got me off there. I managed to find a farmer at a church just at the edge of his field. It turned out to be where they used to hold all the fates. So I think my first ever day out, I found hundreds and hundreds of coins.
Fantastic. And you've been thereafter, you've been continuously metal detecting for all the years thereafter. And following the C-scope, you've had a number of machines, I'd suggest.
Yeah, I did the whole Fisher range. 1210, 1225, 1235, 1265. And then somebody taught me into a mine lab, and I bought a Musketeer. And from that day on, I was always wed to it, to be honest. It was I could tell the difference between any metal and silver. So I knew when I was finding silver every time. And I carried on with that detector right up until about 4 years ago. And
really?
It died. Yeah, it died. And that was it. I bought a Garrett 80 Pro, and that's what I'm still using that today.
And you mentioned that you had a stroke. Did you find that metal detecting was difficult there after the stroke, but has it helped?
But the stroke hasn't helped, no.
No, I mean, has the metal detecting helped your recovery?
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. I just, like I said, I was involved with a big metal detecting group for a couple of years. It was only the fact that the stroke just left me with this instant freezing thing. If I'm out in the cold, my face freezes up, my mouth freezes up, I can't talk properly. So I decided at that stage to withdraw, and I sort of got away from it.
I'm with you. So, well, what we're doing tonight, for people who don't know, we've been running a post on the Big Metal Detecting Show Facebook group, and in collaboration with Diggers Dips this week, we have, thanks to Chris and the team, he's come up on Diggers Dips website with a prize draw, and Mr. Higgins is showing that. So in 28 minutes and 31 seconds, this will be drawn live on the show. Sadly, for all those who want to enter now, it closed access to it around 7 p.m. this evening. So as you can see, on the site, we've got a Rooters Brundle on first prize, which will be sent out by Mr. Higgins. In second prize will be 30 Diggers Dips tokens. So you will have 30 tokens to join as many different draws, prize draws on the site, which there are quite a few and some very good prizes too. And you will receive them free, and you'll be able to go on and play to your heart's content within them 30 tokens. In third place, there's a Black Ada stainless steel dagger, as you can see on the screen, which I'll send out, and we'll also include Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine patch and anything else we can find in the stock room, which isn't really a stock room, it's a bag under my feet. In fourth place is 15 Diggers Deeps tokens, and in fifth place 5 Diggers Dips tokens. So that's in 27 minutes, so stay tuned obviously for the prize draw, and obviously thank you Chris and the team for agreeing to do that, and obviously putting the prizes in place as well. We much appreciate that, as I'm sure the viewers do. So Diggers Dips, you've been metal detecting for quite some time, and you've reached a point where obviously you can't do as much as you'd like. Diggers Dips has come along. Tell me about that, how that came into fruition.
Right. Well, you'll know obviously in the last year or so, there's been a lot of dodgy raffles. I'm not going to go into names, obviously, but there's one chap now that's he's heading to prison. There's been a few others that have run off with the money and the prizes. There's also been a big situation, with the Hereford Hoard. I call it the Hereford Hoard fraud. That made obviously the national papers. And then you've got the night hawking. And we just felt that, perhaps we could bring a little bit of credibility back to the hobby by doing something, totally transparent, bringing on board people that are known in the industry, some sort of like respectability. And we could do something as well. The way the site's designed, we can actually put this out to so many different areas. One of the things we originally considered was that, I know a lot of detectorists lost permissions after that situation in Hereford. A lot of farmers are very sort of like cautious now about giving people permissions. So we thought we can adapt this site in many ways, not only for raffles for ourselves, but raffles perhaps for some farmers. We could literally, a group on a field, on a farm, could actually run a raffle for the farmer, one of his own chosen charities. And also, we have 3 charities as well that we raise money for through every single ticket that's sold through all our draws. We raise for 3 charities as well. So there's a lot of scope. As the site gets more popular and more people come on board, there'll be more raffles, there'll be more prizes, they'll run quicker, and we can raise more money for various very good causes, basically. And if people approach us, we could do a special one, like the one we're doing tonight for you. We could do a special one-off. Somebody could just want to raise money for charity, and we could do like a free draw. They could supply whatever they wanted. We can organise a free draw, and dead simple to set it up.
Well, hopefully we definitely myself and Luke are very high on charitable work. We've looked at things in the past. We've helped as much as we can in the past. I myself was assisting with the Mayor of Rochdale's charities for 2 or 3 years regarding metal detecting events. So it's something obviously we both like to look at more so, and we spoke on the telephone about the potential of being able to put something together in the future of our own draw. Because at the moment you've got like Diggers Dips, obviously you've got your own draws. Metal Detectives have got some draws on there. Celtic Stag. What's the last word? I forgot what they're called.
Celtic Stags.
Celtic Stags. It is just that. Celtic Stags have got some draws on there as well. So, and obviously more and more people are joining. And you're not even a month old really yet since release, are you?
No. Well, actually, yes. We're a month old this week.
There you go. Happy month birthday.
Oh, thank you. We set a target, actually. We said, well, if we can get 1,000 members in a month, right, we'd be over the moon. We broke 1,000 members in the first 2 weeks. We're up to just approaching 1,600 now.
Fantastic.
The big thing is promoting it. I mean, we've only promoted on Facebook, and I think we've got a presence on Instagram. But again, we're taking it step by step. Just making sure that the system handles everything. And to be honest, it's doing absolutely stunning. We're really, really pleased with it.
And it looks good. And I'm popping up on the screen at the same time as Detect the Network, more or less at the same time as yourself coming to fruition, as did Detect the Network. And both have stamped the footprints in the community, and both doing fantastic things. So the future is very bright with a digital presence, certainly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sorry.
No, carry on.
No, I just agree. I was just saying, the way things get around now with, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, it's an incredible marketing tool. I mean, we must have, I don't know how many people have seen us literally in 4 weeks. We've been all over the place, but I think we've got a cracking name. I just love that, Diggers Dips. It's just something I really like.
The only thing is, whenever I've spoke to you verbally, I've called it about 5 different things, and I'm like, is it Digger Dips? Diggers Dips? Digger Dip? Digger. But I always get there in the end. We will teach me right.
I've called you 4 or 5 different things as well, Dave. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, but mostly they're deserving. In fact, I'm getting some abuse already off Pete Terrell on the chat room saying, if everybody watching donated 50p, Dave could put the heating on and stop wearing woolen hats indoors, which is nice. I don't know. The abuse you get for wearing an LP hat. To be honest, Pete, I've never been a lover of peaked caps. I prefer these type of hats. And I want one of them. I definitely need one, because I always wear a different one on the show every week. So that one must be my one.
That's yours. That is the spare one.
Fantastic. I'll certainly wear that for you. And obviously, if you're able to put a brief video together, like you've seen in the adverts at the start of the show, we'll obviously be able to put that up at some point during the adverts of the show as well. So you keep that in mind, and then obviously we can sort something out there. Where are we otherwise? Sorry?
So we already have a video.
Oh, there you go. Send it on over. Hello, everybody else in the chat room who's come on. I'm just trying to scroll through to see if there's any more questions. If anybody obviously does have any questions for Chris tonight about Diggers Dips or anything else, please ask away. And if I miss them, Luke will certainly spot them and bring them up on the screen. Dominic Tomsick, he has a permission in Hereford from a farmer. It's very nice land. He's trying to find a Roman horde, as are we all, Dominic. Daniel Werner says Detect the Network is brilliant, can't wait for the app, as can I, but they're being very slow, are them people in the bloody Android community. Darren Booth has a question for you. Does one token give you one draw? Can you explain that? Obviously you're far more superior in that knowledge than I.
One token equates to £1 effectively. There's a selection of draws on there from £1 up to £10, depending on the value of the prize. So there are some draws on there. There's certainly one, I think, for a metal detector I think there's one on a metal detector for £1. So yeah, one token basically equates to £1. So £1, £2. The coin draws are mostly £3. There'll be 3 tokens, and a lot of the prize draws are 5 or 10.
Brilliant. And then obviously the draw people will see at 8:45. The draw that we have live on the show tonight is basically exactly the same as what happens on the draws themselves normally.
Yeah, exactly the same. That is the normal countdown. When the last ticket's sold, if it's before 5 o'clock, then the counter will start and go straight into the draw at 7 o'clock that evening. If the last ticket is sold after 5, it'll be 7 o'clock the following evening.
I'm
And
with
if it's
you.
4 or 5 draws, they'll just run one after the other, consecutively.
Brilliant. Nice little setup, Chris. Fair play. As it took much work, obviously, behind the scenes to be able to come up with how it actually is.
Yeah, yeah, it's taken a year, to believe it or not. Certainly an intensive last 4 months. But obviously, with the lockdown, we've had all the extra time. So, but it's certainly taken from the idea to the actual launch has been 12 months.
Fantastic. I mean, I know obviously it's very difficult for ourselves with the website, which has failed on several occasions. Up until we touch wood, it's been doing well for a while now, and that's basically it's basically a WordPress site which I've learned to navigate around. When Luke and myself need to post, it's very simple, but I couldn't begin to grasp comprehend how much goes into doing the likes of your own site and of course the Detector network as well. It must be very time consuming, to say the least. We do have a question for you tonight about metal detecting itself. What have you personally found over the years, Chris?
Well, do you know what? I was pretty prepared for that. I got probably about 100 odd hammered silver, but my favourite ever coin, and I've always said this, is this one here. I got to work out where to put it by the camera now. There we go.
Yeah.
I found that. You see that?
That's it, just there.
Yeah, no,
Perfect.
It's actually a tuppence. Oop, I've dropped it. It's actually a cartwheel tuppence, not a cartwheel penny.
Really?
Oh.
Dropped it again.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, poor camera quality, look. Yes, cartwheel tuppence. I've kept this coin. I thought, whatever happened, if I ever decided to sell my coins, this is the only one that I would actually keep. I've had that 30 odd years, and I just love the coin. But yeah, I've got lots of coins and artifacts. But I think my son, who's part of this partnership in Diggers Dips, I do keep saying I'll sell them, and he said that's my inheritance, so it's not happening.
Do you know, I've never actually heard of a cartwheel tuppence. How big is that? Because it looks quite substantial.
It weighs 2 ounces.
Wow.
I put the thickness of it, that's which way's the camera.
Good Lord.
You said, I mean, a pocket full of those, you've got a couple of pound weight in your pocket. Incredible coin. Absolutely incredible coin.
Looks more like a hockey puck.
It's big.
I am actually have to go away and have a look at the dimensions and that, because I would love to see one of them in first hand. That's quite fascinating. And what sort of artifacts have you got?
Not so many artifacts, to be honest. Well, one thing I have got packed away in a lockup where I put I used to collect china as well, and I've got a load of boxes in there with things that I thought were scrap 30 years ago, and I know now that I got at least 2 Saxon strap ends sat in those boxes.
Wow.
Tremendous stuff that I thought that's rubbish. I know I got a purse bar which I thought was it looks a bit of old rubbish. Throw it in the scrapbook. So I've got to go through all that. But in terms of artifacts, no, I'm mostly coins.
Yeah, I'm with you. And through your years of metal detecting, has it been primarily, I take it you were originally in Weston-super-Mare and then you've moved to South Wales. Has it been them areas primarily?
Well, when I was working with Let's Go Digging, I spent a lot of time all over the country. But
right,
to be fair, I've rarely ever got a chance to use a metal detector, because people are tapping you on the shoulder. And to be totally honest, I haven't detected in Wales yet.
Really?
No.
How many years have you been living in Wales then?
10.
Right.
I always haven't had a chance. I really haven't had a chance. I've gone down to Somerset a couple of times. Been out with a friend of mine down there. I've got a promise of a friend to take me out in a couple of weeks' time, but I just haven't had the time. I literally haven't had the time.
Well, there you go, Petterkin. If you're in the room, you can invite Chris out with you. I don't know how far away from each other you are in South Wales, but there you go, a call to arms. Reality of metal detecting UK dirt fishing ask, what was the beach like in Weston-super-Mare for metal detecting?
Only ever went on it twice. I personally, I'm not a beach detectorist. I like the privacy of a field. I don't like people coming up and asking me what I found and making beeping noises. And yeah, it's not for me. I like the privacy of being out in the countryside.
I hear that, and I also despise beach detecting because I don't understand what's going on my machine. So, and it also, I'd rather sit if I'm on a beach. I'd rather sit and look at the sea personally. Dabble my toes occasionally. Steve Pettican says he's about 20 miles away from you, so you got to get an invite. I think shortly, any second now, we're going to be going over to the adverts. And then when we come back, we won't be long before we have the draw itself. So in the meantime, before Luke switches us over to the adverts, Dominic Tomczyk says, what was your favourite metal detector and why?
Well, I've got two. I had as I said earlier on, the Mindlab Musketeer because I was so tuned to it. And it broke my heart when I eventually had to go. I use the AT Pro now, the Garrett AT Pro, and I've got that down to a fine art. When I eventually get to use it, I've got every sound logged in. I'd never use the numbers. I could quite happily gaffer tape the screen over because I do everything by ear. I never understood the numbers, never really wanted to.
I'm with you. Marvellous. Adam Weedle says, yeah, that's why I beach detect at 5 a.m. so I don't get hassled. So again, anybody who does...
I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Welcome back, everybody. Tonight, as you may have obviously seen, and for those who haven't seen, we are joined by Chris Bailey of Diggers Dips, and in 8 minutes the draw will be live with tonight's prizes for people who entered liking and sharing on the Big Metal Detecting Show Facebook group. Welcome back, Chris.
Thank you.
So where are we? Was going to no more questions there up to now. No, we're all fine and dandy, all up to date. So yeah, Chris, I obviously joined Diggers Dips when you told me about it, and I've participated in a few of the draws. But as Mr. Mark Betcher will attest, I have no luck at all. I've took part in a few of his draws as well, and my name never comes close. I'll carry on and I'll win one day, but as of yet, in fact, I actually liked and shared this, so if I win tonight, I'm bound to win something that I'm probably the trowel that's here. So just take my money. In the future of Diggers Dips, where do you see yourself in a let's say 6 months, a year's time? What is the what are you waiting to achieve next?
That's a difficult question.
You didn't plan for that one.
Didn't plan for that one. No. Well, the thing is, I think that because we've got so many options with this site, a lot of it's going to be suggestive. I think people are going to say, look, can you do this? Can you do that? And in general, we can do virtually anything with this site. So I think at some stage, we will get a lot of charity. We will do a lot of charity work. I know that, I'm confident with that. And I do see multiple, when we've got enough members on board, we'll have multiple draws. There'll be people, Celtic Stags, they raise money for autism, for autism. So all the funds from that draw will go to them, and will go, put towards that charity. And I think at some stage, maybe, perhaps we'll get charities approaching us and saying, can we raise some money for a metal?
Yeah, fair dues, yeah.
For the hobby, I think that's really great for the hobby.
Absolutely.
What we have got, so just to put something to you now, we have tomorrow we're launching what we're going to call the Super Draw, and what we're going to do, we've made it so that if you credit your account with 5 tokens, we will give you one ticket, if you like, in the Super Draw. There's 20 prizes from Detector down. And what we're going to do is that if you bought 20 tokens, we give you 4 entries. And those 20 tokens aren't going in there. The draw itself, if you buy the tokens, is free to you. So you've still got 4 entries and 20 tokens. So you can take part in the other raffles as well. Or you could just go mad and bung the whole lot in and have, for 20 tokens, you could have 8 £5 draw tickets, effectively.
Yeah.
And that'll be launched at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're going to do that.
Well, I was going to put money on at the end of the night. I think I'll do it tomorrow morning now.
Probably.
I do have a couple more questions popping in. What prizes have been won so far?
So far, we've had, oh dear, top of my head now, loads of accessory type prizes, because we try to do, first, second, and third prize, maybe first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Majority of the time, it's a detector. We've had an Equinox go out. We've had Simplex, I think 2 Simplex go out. Got a Vanquish to go out. We had an Oryx. An ORX went out. Was it full day? It might have been a full day. Yeah, full day. Sorry, full day setup. That's gone out. And loads of smaller prizes. But yeah, we're happy. We sent out quite a few in the first month, which is pleasing.
Brilliant. We have another one. I don't know if you're at liberty to say, but what percentage of donation do you give to charities?
Yeah, no, I can tell you that. We try to make it very transparent, because this is a question a lot of people would ask. And what we do, we do the ticket sales. We deduct the price of the item. We deduct then the price of whatever goes to the operator. If we're not doing it ourselves, then they get a portion of the money to put towards their own personal charity. And then we take 25% of the residual, and we put that straight to our 3 charities. I think we've raised about, just in this first month, we're up to about £200 in charity donations so far.
Brilliant.
And on the site there's a link on the dashboard to charities, and we've got a sliding bar on each charity. So what we do every time we put some money into that bar moves up, and it's set at £250 each one. So as soon as that moves up to 250, then we will put that to the charity.
And what are your 3 charities that you've mentioned currently?
Sorry, what was the question again?
What are the current charities that you are donating to? You said there was 3.
Yeah, we're doing Macmillan Cancer Charity. We're doing MND, which is the Motor Neurone, and the got me now, the one for the children. I've got a mental block now.
NSPCC?
Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish Foundation, I'm with you. That's brilliant. Macmillan, for people who have been watching for a while, will know that's very close to my heart personally, as it was with many. And you've got 3 solid, good charitable organisations there, certainly. So good luck with that. I don't think we're far from the draw, to be honest. I don't think we're many minutes away. Let me just go and check. Where are we? There we are.
3 minutes.
1 minute and 57 seconds. So in about a minute and a half, hopefully we'll be able to see. There we go, more or less. So in the net, well, we continue chatting, obviously, and then in the next minute or so, we will have the draw live, and you will be able to see automatically. So it's basically a built-in random number generator which chooses the winners. Chris, is that right?
That's correct. Yes, it's done for a third party as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite very secure. It's not a question of anybody can turn around and say, "Oh, you can choose the numbers." It goes to a third party as well.
Right.
So it's the whole site, from this point of view, is very, very secure, from the payment system to the random number generator.
One thing that I do like about the site, Chris, is the fact that it's so clean and easy to use. It's not difficult in any way, shape, or form, and it just looks crisp and clean. It's there's no airs or graces or poppy up other things. It's a nice, clean site. So
we decided to be honest, to steer clear of Google ads and all the other monetary things you can use to, we just decided, no pop-ups, no Google ads, just make it, as you said, a nice, clean, easy to use site.
Certainly. Where are we now? Any more questions coming in? Not much going on at the moment. No more. As I say, anybody who does have any questions, please let us know. And if anybody does have anything that they'd like to discuss with Chris off air, I'm sure Chris would be more than happy to communicate with you via Digger Dips on Facebook. Chris, is that about right?
Send me a friend request. I'm on Messenger, Facebook, anywhere. I'm up, 24. I can't talk now. Look,
draw starting. Draw for first place. The draw numbers are flashing, and the name will come up straight away. So I'll let you announce the winners, Chris.
Right. I think the connection might be a little bit slow. It's usually a bit quicker than that.
The tension's grabbing me now. Oh, I'm waiting for the last number.
Yeah, so the name will come up on there as well any second.
Brilliant. So it's number 11. Who is?
Kevin. Well, I lost. It's gone.
Chris. Not Chris. There you go. Kevin Joyce, is it?
Kevin Jace. Facebook. That's a Facebook username.
So, Kevin, if you could communicate with myself or Luke, because that's one of our prizes, we'll obviously get your details off you and get that to you. And if you don't contact me, I'll try and find you on the Big Metal Detecting Show Facebook group.
Yeah, another low number. Okay.
And there's your winner.
Aaron Weedle.
It's my substitute when I'm very poorly, and good friend of the show, Mr. Aaron Weedle, South Coast Detecting. You've won the the 30 tokens. So if you can communicate with myself, and I'll put you in contact with Chris or directly with Chris, you'll be able to sort that, and I presume you may have to set up an account as well to be credited. So well done, Mr. Weedle. Nearly there, 31.
Roddy McLeod.
Roddy McLeod. That's a good Highlander name, that is. Fair play. So congratulations, Roddy McLeod. You've won the Black Ada Trowel dagger. So again, you'll need to get in communication with me, and I'll send you that out hopefully over the weekend, if that's okay. So there's 3 prizes down. It's going quite sweetly, this. I like this. There we go.
Just in time.
Very low one. Number 8.
Alan Jenkins.
Alan Jenkins, congratulations on your 4th place prize. You will need to communicate with Chris, because that's for 15 Diggers Deeps tokens. So congratulations. Steve Pettigan, there can be only one. Roddy McLeod, the Clan McLeod.
Yeah. I wish we put Steve's name in as well.
I'm still waiting for me to win. Told you I don't win anything. I think even Mrs. Sadler's had a go. It's number 27.
7. Kieran Slade.
Kieran Slade. Congratulations, Kieran. So you've won 5 tokens on Diggers Dips. So if all them people can communicate with myself or with Chris directly, that would be great. Just throwing something in before I forget it. South Coast Detective Aaron Weedle. If you want 10% off at LP, use the code South Coast, one word. Anyway, sorry, I'm just getting that in before I lost it. Excuse me. So thank you to everybody who participated. Darren Booth asks, can you use PayPal to credit your Digger Dips account?
The answer to that is no. We did consider PayPal, but so many people have had, because it's a prize draw system, PayPal tend to have, every now and again, they have a little funny hit on this, and they stop all the payments. So we decided a really good way to do it really was through Stripe, which gives you credit card, debit card, and it's safe and secure, to be honest.
Yeah, fair dues. Scotty B said 10% discount code at Regdens, NOTTD 18, for anybody who wants that. So obviously everybody now has seen Diggers Dips draws, how it works. We've had some fantastic prizes tonight, 5 winners, so that's again fantastic for themselves. Communicate with us, and we will we'll sort out the account through Diggers Dips, or myself and Luke sending them on. So thank you, Chris. That's brilliant. It works well. I know it does. It's a lot more fluid when you're actually on the site itself. I've seen a couple of draws take place, and obviously with both myself, Luke, and yourself using so much internet streaming tonight, it's probably slowed it down a little bit than the fluidity that it normally generates at.
Yes. One thing if I could just mention, if anybody looks at the site, they'll see the Detector Register logo. And this is another thing we're going to be working with. I set this up 3 years ago, and it's totally free. You can register your detector on there, the serial number. You can check to see if anybody's reported one stolen, and the whole thing is totally free, and it'll remain free.
Yes, I remember I had a conversation with Pete Terrell about that a number of years ago, not long after you'd actually launched it. So, how long's that been going for now, Chris?
Well, it's been going for 3 years, but again, it's another project that I started because I saw that the price of detectors were going up and up and up, and you're hearing of thefts. So I thought, right, I'll set this up. And again, it's something that I set up every year. I've renewed the domain name, kept it all running, but never put time into it. So now we are going to donate some time to this as well, because we think there's a big need for something to, with the way the detectors is being sold now and the value of them.
We had a guest on the podcast early last year, who'd set up something not dissimilar. I don't know even if that's still running or not. But can I ask if it's okay about data protection and such, like how you work around that when you've got obviously the details of individuals?
We don't take the details of individuals. What they can do, they can register, they can be a username or their own name. It's up to them. We don't ask for any details. They just register the serial number of their detector, and everything then can be done via private messaging within the site. We don't ask for any. We take no payment, so we don't need details, to be honest.
Right, I'm with you. Obviously, I think payments were going to be installed on the one that we spoke with previously. So that was, for me personally, an issue. So obviously, if that's the case with the register itself, again, it's something that we all should be supporting and all should be signing up to. So hopefully, if I don't do it, if I don't remember, if you could pop that up on the link up on the Facebook group at some point, Chris, and obviously we'll again cascade that out to all and sundry.
Yeah.
There's also a link on the Celtic. I only say Celtic because it's a football team. I do apologise. Celtic. Sorry, done it again. Celtic Stag Detectorist Facebook page also. So yeah, that's all great. Well done to all the winners. I had Tommy Wood, who's just popped in. Tommy was on last week. We talked about green waste. Tommy, I haven't forgot to put you in communication with William Hargreave yet. I've had a nightmare of a week, believe me. So I've got a lot to catch up on this weekend, as is life. So when you out and about next 2 weeks, you said, where's that planning to be off to?
I don't know. I've got a friend that's he promised me a couple of weeks ago he'll take me out. He just found a couple of gold sovereigns, so I'm eager. If it's the same field, I'm eager to go. But again, I'm just waiting to hear. To be honest, I think it's going to be 2 weeks before I actually get a Sunday off.
Gosh, do you work as well then outside of diggers dips and whatnot? You got a job yourself?
Yeah, I do a little few bits and pieces, which I can't really mention at the moment.
No worries. And Luke's don't put your password in, Luke. Don't put your password in. Everyone will be on it. Oh, it's all right. So Luke's just showing you in the background exactly what's what, and he's signing in. Couldn't be easier. He's created an account, so Luke's all in. Don't put any money on till tomorrow, Luke. We've been tipped off. And it is simple. It's as simple as that. You order your tokens. Pounds equal token. Is that right? Yeah. So £1 is one token. And then obviously, if you could show us the prize draws that are currently taking place, or the coin draws, Luke, and then people can get a bit of an idea of what's going on there at the moment. As you can see, you've also got the chosen charities, able to see them straight away. So you've got a Let's Go Digging draw for a... I can't see the price. Unfortunately, the link's a bit poop at the moment, but there's one from Let's Go Digging, which is a Garrett Ace 300i, and there's a pinpointer. Digger's Dip Garrett Ace 250 and a detecting bundle also from Digger's Dips. Let's Go Digging draw for an XP-ORX with remote. Metal Detectives have a Vanquish, I think. Rodney Cook Memorial Prize draw. So there's multiple organisations who are utilising the site at the moment and raising money, Chris.
Yeah, and all the coin draws, they're done by Mark at Metal Detectives.
Yeah.
He organises all those. We just host the draws for him on our platform.
Yeah. Well, it's something that obviously we've spoke about it. If myself and Luke can get to a position, sadly because of the coronavirus, I don't know if you do know this, Chris, but the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine, we actually produce 4+ magazines a year, paper editions. This year there was supposed to be 6, being Detecticon, the 3 Detectivals, the Rodney Cook Memorial Rally, and another which my mind's gone blank. I can't remember what it was. So you'll have 4 paper editions of the magazine, which, if I could just pull one out, looks like that. Apart from the green screen making that bit there. Let me put me on there anyway. So there you go. The Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine. So it's completely free at the events that we go to. I'll be including them when I send the digger out. But obviously, you know, again, it's something potentially you can maybe put some form of advert in the future to reach again a different audience, because there's a lot of people who don't use the internet, which we might think odd in this day and age, but there's a lot of people who don't want to use the internet. So we've got a good reach via that as well. So that's a totally free magazine, which also goes up onto our website, the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine.
Everything's gone very quiet.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button, silly old me, and I cut myself off, so I do apologise. I was just going to, if I share the screen, Luke, please. Again, for people who haven't seen the show before, there we go, back onto it. This is the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine website. We have articles coming on at regular intervals, and all the magazines that I've just mentioned can be downloaded for free. That was the first one we ever produced at Detectival 2018. Second one, we've also got a complete guide to magnet fishing on there. And these are the other ones that you can get access to straight away. All the back issues of the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine, which you can read on your iPad, Chris, and see exactly what they're like. So, God, isn't the internet slow tonight? And I told my children to keep off as well. So, as you can see, that's the PDF version of the magazine. I'm going to stop sharing that because internet's going exceptionally slow. Andy Jones says, still haven't seen one yet. We will have to meet up at the second best chippy in Congleton. Got a new one, Andy. We've got a new one that's gone to the top called Mario's behind the unicorn in somewhere in Congleton. Name eludes me. Lower Heath, I think it is. Scotty B, GTG, all was nice being back. Amazing show as always. Take care. All stay safe. Oh, got to go. Look at me not knowing modern words. So, Chris, anything else you would like to give mention to around about Diggers Dips or metal detecting in general, or the detector register, or anything?
No, I don't think so. I think I've pretty much covered it. I think anybody who won a prize tonight through Diggers Dips, they can actually just message us through the site. As facilities there, leave their address and everything. We'll just make sure the prize. Well, don't need their addresses, any tokens, so we can actually credit their account straight away. That'll just make life safe going through you, Dave, and then coming back to me.
True, yeah.
Well, they can create an account and message us.
Yeah.
We'll just credit the tokens to them.
Fantastic. And obviously, you'll need to communicate with myself or Luke regarding who was it? Kevin Jace, who won the Rooters bundle, and Roddy McLeod, who won the Black Ada digging tool. So,
yeah.
Well, if there's nothing else, nobody's else got any questions, I think we can wrap it up for the evening. Chris, it's been a pleasure learning more about Diggers Dips. If there's any live things that you want to do in the future, just give me a shout, and we'll, even if it's just for a draw itself, we'll be able to fit that in during any program, anytime, not a problem whatsoever. I can't thank you enough for doing that draw tonight, and obviously for including the prizes too. So from myself and Luke, obviously, thank you very much for that. Very much appreciated.
No, that's right. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, crack on.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, Sarah, just thanks for inviting me on. Like, you know, and it's been nice actually. I can wipe the sweat away now. that draws
well, Chris, in my eyes, if I want to know about something, I joined the Freemasons because I needed to know what it was all about. So I joined the Freemasons. I have to find out information, and if I want to ask information, which we spoke about, I'm sure there's many other people hopefully also want to garner the same information, and obviously being able to put the information across yourself, it's easier that way. It's easier for you to speak directly about everything than it is for me to say it incorrectly. So and next week we've got one of your friends from Celtic Stags, Chris Hearn, coming on, so you're going to be learning next week all about the group Celtic Stag, and if I'm quite correct, also, sorry, I'm just reading something at the same time. They will be discussing a horde or hordes that they have discovered in the last couple of months. Luke's also saying, Chris, that he wants one of those caps. They look like a MAGA cap. So sorry, Luke, I've got to get one first. I have to promote, you know. Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you this evening. Everybody in the group, in the chat room, and the viewers, thank you all for watching. Just to run through the winners again, the Rootus bundle was won by Kevin Jace. The £30 worth of Digger Dips tokens was Mr. Aaron Riedel, you lucky so-and-so. The Black Ada trowel by Roddy McLeod. The £15 worth of Digger Dips tokens by Alan Jenkins, and finally the £5 Digger Dips tokens by Kieran Slade. So thank you each and every one of you for participating and sharing that information around tonight. Sorry, Craig, it's Craig Hearn, not Chris Hearn. I haven't got it written down. I can't show you, I'll have to move the camera. I've got a whiteboard with the running order, and I've actually not changed it since March. So I always have the information. I do apologise. So next week we have Craig Hearn from Celtic Stag, not Celtic Stag. Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for obviously holding the draw and putting the prizes in. And look forward to speaking to you in the future and hopefully winning something. That would be nice.
Yeah. You've had the tip off now, so we expect to see your name pop up tomorrow.
That's not going to happen. Right, everybody, I'm Dave Sadler. This is the Big Metal Detecting Show. Please look for that on Facebook or the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine, which obviously the website as well. Thank you all for coming tonight. Have a good week. I'm Dave Sadler. Thanks to Luke in the background. Good night, everybody. Thanks, Chris. Good night.
Cheers.